Hello, all. Welcome to episode 3 of One Pitch Catch. Ganesh, we were just thinking about it. We had the T20 World Cup win last year, and BCCI organized such a big victory parade, but nothing is happening for the Champions Trophy similar to that, right? As a famous news anchor would say, the nation wants to know. Sorry, one second, I'm just getting a call. Yarba, uh, okay, what's your name? Dineshana. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll take it up. Yeah. So somebody called himself and he says Dination. He's saying his name is Dination because I said Dination wants to know. He says Dination, I am Dination. I want to know why there is no celebration. It's a fair question. We don't know. Ganesh, what do you
Yeah,
think?
it's
I
a
mean, like, what
very,
may be
very fair
happening?
question. I mean, I also thought of this. I've been thinking of it in the last 2 days. There has been no news on that. I think probably the players and BCCI also thinks that the World T20 win is bigger than the Champions Trophy, just because the number of teams is there, and
Hmm.
also the term it is called the World Cup. So,
Okay.
and I more than all these things, I think the most important reason is everybody had to get back to their IPL training camps. IPL teams training
Hmm.
camps.
Okay.
So that is my feel that I mean, which obviously BCCI also is very happy about that. So everything.
Correct.
I mean, uh, if you see 2 years back, we even missed one Test match from England and came back for IPL, and we
Yeah,
went and played that later. Uh, so I mean, though that was not the reason that was cited.
that was, yeah.
so
It
so
could have been a reason.
so I think victory parade means nothing when IPL training camp is at stake.
Yeah. And like we mentioned in the last video, slowly a lot of people will get fit as the IPL draws closer anyway.
Yeah, and some
Okay, so that's all, probably also
England
means
players
that,
only will keep pulling out. The other
yeah,
players
yeah.
will get. Hmm.
In
And
fact,
probably
one
one other
other,
reason is another
uh,
reason is the Mumbai municipalities workers probably complained saying that sweeping was very difficult after the parade and event. I mean, last time we heard that there was a lot of debris and trash all over the place, so it was very difficult for them to sweep. So the Mumbai municipality took care of that and ensured that there is no victory parade this time. I think that could be a weird reason. I
yeah.
feel.
So speaking of which, so if the Mumbai municipality was going to find it difficult to sweep, I guess even the New Zealand batsmen were in that same state because when you look at the final, you probably and maybe even the league stage game, there were very few sweeps, reverse sweeps or conventional sweeps that they were playing, which is odd, right? I mean, historically, most teams tend to upset the Indian spin bowlers through sweeping and reverse sweeping, and it just throws field placements haywire. Captains are like scratching their heads, saying, "Okay, where do I plug next?" So it seems like they didn't really use it as extensively compared to say in the Test series, where they won 3-0, right? So I don't know what would have been happening there.
I think that's a very valid point, Jagdish. In fact, we missed talking about it in the review. I think they could have employed more sweeps and reverse sweeps, which has proven extremely successful for this exact team. Say, take for example, Latham was there, Rachin was there, Daryl Mitchell was there. So all these people, they though it's a test series, they beat us 3-0 with a lot of good bowling and fielding also. But the sweep also played a part. There is sweep and reverse sweep. And not only this series, overall, historically, like you said, we have always, our bowlers and captains have always struggled once the batsmen start employing the sweep. I mean, Hayden, Jimmy Adams, a few, Graham Gooch, a few names
Ah,
come to the mind right now, but we've always struggled. I think New Zealand probably missed a trick. Um,
mm,
but given the powerhouse that India is, they could have still won the game. I'm not saying that New
yeah,
Zealand could have
correct.
won playing the sweeps, but probably put up a 270, 275
Yeah,
score, which would
correct.
have been even more, little more challenging to the Indian batsmen. I mean, their domination has been extraordinary, Jagdish, as like you know.
Yeah.
in the last 5 years, I would say. I mean, so you can call only last two, 24 and 25 we have won, but in the last 5 years, our domination has been extremely good. Like I kept hearing that those a couple of losses, no loss by 10 wickets to Pakistan and England, I think gave us a big lesson. And I'm glad that we've learned the lesson and we have completely turned the tables that way.
Right. Yeah, I was actually doing some analysis around it. I just want to share something.
Yeah, okay.
Uh,
Okay. Around India's dominance.
yeah. Are you able to
Okay.
see this, Swan?
Yes,
So
I'm able to see this.
let me try and make it bigger also so that it's easier for people to see. So
Yeah.
this is the
Okay.
win percentage
Uh,
for all these major teams. I mean, excluding teams like Bangladesh, Zimbabwe, etc., which don't really
okay.
have too much of a record to speak of, or even Afghanistan for that matter. So if
Okay.
you take these 8 teams,
Hmm.
this is what their win percentages have been
Okay.
in limited overs ICC events. So that's basically with the 50 over World Cup,
Okay.
Champions Trophy, and T20 World Cup. Adila, if you
Decade. I
see,
mean, you have split it decade wise.
by decade. So basically,
Okay.
the first
Hmm.
70 to 79 being the first
Okay.
real decade of
Yeah.
limited overs internationals, all the way till this
Hmm.
current decade. Adila Pata, few things are really interesting. So in the first decade, West Indies had 100% win ratio. Basically, the two World Cups in 75 and 79, they didn't lose a single game. So
Single
that's
game.
why they
Yes.
ended up having that.
Yes.
அதெல்லாம் அந்த காலம். I mean, you can see how West Indies has just dipped from there to there, and now they're not even qualifying for tournaments. Like
Current
they're
West
not
Indies. If you show this
Champions
to
Trophy
West
qualified.
Indies board, I
ஆமா.
don't know what they will say also. Hmm.
Or you show it to any of the ex news, West Indies greats, they'll be like, they will be pretty sad about it. So you can see the massive dip, right? And it's downswing now. It's not
Yes.
even going back. Like if you see some other teams, for example, South Africa started off very well in the 90s when they started off, went
Yes.
down, and then they've actually been doing a pretty decent job. Pakistan has been sort of consistently in the mid range throughout.
Yes.
New Zealand has obviously improved, especially in the last 2 to 3 decades. England has dipped, right? If you see, they were pretty decent in 75 and 79. I think 75 they reached the semifinals, and then 79
Correct.
they reached the finals. But after that, it's pretty much been a one-way dip.
There seems
And
to be a slight
Australia,
up in 2019 because
yeah,
they won that.
in 19, yeah. And Australia has been, you expect this from Australia, they'll always be in the top. But the actual story that you also want to showcase is India, right? So it starts off pathetically in this. They basically only won against, I think, Sri Lanka in the, no, they were defeated by Sri Lanka. East Africa, they
East
won in
Africa is the
79.
only team, I
Yeah.
think. Uh,
Yeah. And then it was middling. And then it really has got to like 86% now.
that
So you
86%
compare,
is
it's a massive number.
okay. I mean, I think
And
that
this is only
86% is
three
as good
formats.
as 100%, Jagdish. I
Yeah,
mean, I mean, this is a great work, Jagdish. Thanks for sharing this. But I think this 86 is as good as 100, considering a lot of factors in terms of the first decade when if in West Indies were 100, a lot of people did not even know how to approach
yeah,
the ODI game because they were all in the test mold. And and now if you consider 86, 86 in this decade, I mean this decade is actually 5 years, but it's still
yeah, yeah.
86 is insane according to me because the way people have the gap between that West Indies team and the other teams were also very huge
Mm,
at that point of time,
yeah,
70 to
correct.
79. But right now, the gaps between teams are not so huge. I mean,
Right,
any on a given day, England can beat. Okay, leave
right.
England. Okay, maybe Australia can beat anybody. Afghanistan can beat
Yeah,
anybody. So those kind of Pakistan, New Zealand, everybody are
yeah.
extremely good teams. Even in
South
this
Africa.
competition, I mean, India could have been beaten once,
Yeah, yeah,
but it didn't happen. That shows how great this 86% is. This
yeah,
86 is as good as 100, given the fact that the gaps between the team is reduced.
correct.
And also another thing is now there is two formats that people play: 50 over
Yeah,
cricket and
correct.
T20 cricket. Considering both the formats are there, this 86, not just as an India fan, this is an insane
Yeah,
number,
yeah.
I think, in terms
It's
of performance.
absolutely great
I
number.
think Rohit's captaincy and the bowlers coming along and all those things have played a role.
Yeah.
I I mean, I think Ravi Shastri, Dravid, now the
Yeah.
last one being Gambhir, or everybody has played a role. Um, and of course, the players who've done it for the team to
Yeah.
reach this level is phenomenal.
Yeah, I just thought it was an interesting stat to put out, considering there are lots of articles about domination and things like
Yes,
that. This is
exactly.
data that tells you how dominant it is. It's not just 23 out of 24 matches in the last 2 or 3 tournaments. It's actually over a period of time across all these tournaments. And we'll see. I mean, there's obviously a few more tournaments to go before the decade closes out, but like Virat said, right? I see this team still dominating for the next 8 years.
Yes, that is
There's
good.
no
I
reason
mean,
why they
like we
should
have
not continue
always, until
back and
everybody was saying that we need to have one win that will open the
yeah,
floodgates, is what.
right.
I mean, that has really happened for the next immediate one. I mean, even if
Yeah,
we don't win and then third one immediately, if we
yeah, yeah.
keep going to the
Which you
finals
can't keep
and
winning all
keep,
the time.
yeah, you can't keep winning 7 or 8 in a row, but if you win, if you go, I mean, India has been consistently going to the finals or semis at least, but now
Yeah.
they've started winning. That's a good thing, and also this domination percentage that you showed, Jagdish, is phenomenal. I'm sure a lot of data people will enjoy these numbers.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool, that's nice. So yeah, let's see how the rest of the decade pans out. We'll
We will
kind
continue
of
to talk
wind
about
up
it
with
here. We will continue to talk about it in one pitch
yeah,
catch.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll continue to bring those stats in. Let's go to the other league that's been going on for the last few weeks, and it's kind of getting to its end stage right now. WPL.
WPL.
Ganesh, what have you observed?
I've been following a little bit of it. I mean, obviously, to be very honest, I want to watch more of it, but it's been with Champions Trophy and all those things. I've been more involved in Champions Trophy and not much on the IPL Trophy, though I've been following it up. I mean, I know the Delhi Capitals team has reached the finals. Yesterday, there was an opportunity for Mumbai to go to the finals directly if they had beaten RCB. RCB ensured that Mumbai had to play the
Yeah.
eliminator against Gujarat, I think. Yes, Gujarat. So since RCB and UP are out, the yesterday's RCB win helped Delhi to go to the finals directly.
And Mumbai came pretty close. They were like they needed 12 in two balls from
Yes,
28
yes.
and then over. They needed
Yes,
12 in two.
yes, and there have been some extremely exciting matches. The last game that RCB lost was amazing. When I thought it was going to be a easy loss to RCB, but
Hmm.
Sneh Rana scored like 26 runs in an over and brought it extremely close. I mean, there's been a lot of talent that has come through. I'm hoping there will be maybe more teams, 6 or 7 to make it even more competitive, because this right now the table topper goes to the final directly. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
correct. Yeah.
They don't even have to play
Shield.
one game. Yeah, so they don't even have to play one game. So
Yeah.
it will be nice to see a lot of, and also a lot of foreign players also taking it seriously and
Yeah.
appearing for a lot of games and performing well. Also,
Yeah.
it's exciting
Correct.
to see, obviously. But
Plus, I
the
think
other thing
the
is around this is, since the RCB women have not made it to the playoffs, are not been going to win this time. Do you think the pressure is going to be more on the RCB men to win this time, Jagdish?
it because the women's team didn't win this time. I don't know. Does it matter how well do you think they're going to do in this tournament? What do you think?
No, I think last time they didn't bother because RCB already had a cup. I mean, the RCB women won it, so they didn't. The pressure was not on them. Anyway, we have won. So this time there is
Yeah.
no. So Isala Cup Namde is happening this time finally. I think with Virat's 18th year and all those things.
Yeah, maybe, hopefully, we'll get to those previews maybe
Yeah, I
later
think
this
they've made.
week or
I
early.
mean, yes, we'll get to those previews, but just to touch up on them, I think RCB has assembled a way more
Hmm.
than decent team after the auction this time in terms of covering a lot of bases, which has been their problem over the years. I think this time they've got assembled good bowlers also. They always batting has never been a
Yeah,
problem with
we've
them.
historically had problems with the bowling, right? Batting
Bowling,
has
yes.
generally never been an
Yeah,
issue.
batting is generally not a problem. I mean, but it is over dependent on 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
But this time, I think they have got the balance right. Instead of going for the big names and the proven ones,
Hmm.
they've got to the right names. Um, I think I will see, but I think I'll stop here, Jagdish, because we will do it in the
Yeah.
preview of each of the teams when we go to the future episodes.
Cool. Great. Thanks once again. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll meet again in a few days.
Yeah, of course.
Till then, keep watching us.
Follow, subscribe,
Follow,
share.
subscribe,
Thank you,
do all the
everyone.
nice things. Bye.